keeping with the theme of my channel, sort of, is the idea of highways. Or maybe highways could be thought of as just connections, but anyway, or maybe things like rivers are also highways or trails anyway. But anyway, that's something I'm going to do, work on that in the future. But anyway, this is sort of, so this is Haynes Road. It's one of the main roads that kind of cuts between the flat area. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, that's Highland. Okay, so it's another road that's anyway, but it's a road that kind of cuts north and eventually goes into like the flat parts of the Duluth, Superior, Hermantown area. And then anyway, it goes down to like towards West Duluth, and then that's the St. Louis River there, that body of water there, which you can't see it here. If you keep going that way, it goes into the bay and the in Lake Superior. Now that water, that's Wisconsin on that side. And then anyway, this is Skyline. Okay, all right, this is actually Skyline, the road right here. That's Skyline. It kind of cuts across there and keeps going, and then makes a left up there, Skyline. It's a really famous road that people go on, and in spots you can really get some really good overview looks of the whole, like, you know, on top of the hill, looking down at the lake and everything, like kind of like the top of the mountain basically. And then other parts you go through some of these woods, or maybe a few like more like residential things. But anyway, but then so it curves up here because there's a river here. It curves all the way around, and I believe this is Merritt Creek. I'll have to look that up. I think it's Merritt Creek is what this is. But anyway, there's a number of like creeks and rivers that go through Duluth, and oh, and by the way, it is springtime, so there should be an extra amount of water right now because it's almost June, but still, I think. Oh yeah, here you go. Ready for this? On this bridge here. Dun dun dun. That's right. This is still in the city limits of Duluth, Minnesota. We have stuff like this. Then if you want to look down this way, real nice. So, oh, you know what? This must have been a railroad bridge or something. I mean, it's way too good of a bridge just to be for bicycles and hiking. I wonder what this bridge was, or maybe there must have been another road that went through here too at one point. Because yeah, this is like really a wide bridge, isn't it? Really well built. Okay, this is okay, the Superior hiking trail. So bits of and then there's these other more like local trails, and some of them are okay. This was for mountain biking, and okay. Anyway, there's all kinds of trails going through Duluth, like through the woods and stuff that we have here, especially along the ridge line. And you know, some of them are, you know, whether it's cross-country skiing or snowmobiling and all that kind of. But anyway, this is one of them, Superior hiking trail. This is the one that it goes from Duluth, and it goes all the way up along like the whole like the north shore of Lake Superior. It goes all the way to like the borders of Canada. I don't know exactly where it goes, but it goes like along that whole way, and it's kind of like the Appalachian Trail, the Midwest. You know, it's one of those things where I don't know if it takes like a week or so to hike it or something. You know, so it's like that. You know, it's not as well known as like the Appalachian Trail, but it's like the Appalachian Trail we have in this area. You know, but it's really nice. It goes along a ridge line, along like views of the lake, of Lake Superior and everything. So anyway, here's some more of the river here. Okay, I'm gonna walk back to the van here and do a little more talking. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the channel and nomadic related themes and stuff like that, adventures, and just haven't really made a video in a long time, so I'm kind of in a state of hibernation, like Hannibal Lecter said, like in the movie or the book Hannibal 2. Actually, I don't know if it was in the book too. I remember, but in the movie he said, like, yeah, I'm in a state of hibernation. So in a sense, you know, you could say, because I'm always trying to work out with this hidden highways thing. It's like the highways are like within, you know. It's like, so I still, like, every time I'm looking at maps and stuff and I'm thinking about these themes, it's like the highways are within, you know. And the other thing I thought is sometimes it might be on the same road, apparently, but we're on different highways. Not sure what that means yet, but anyway. But here's the old van, which I was having a lot of mechanical difficulties with it recently, and but now it's doing pretty good. Yeah, it does have some rust, but since I've done so much work to make it into like a van life van, you know, I'm gonna like fix it. I'm gonna fix the rust isn't too bad so far, so I think I can get that. I can fix that. Get a friend who can help me to fix it, and it doesn't look like it, but the van has a lot of hidden features that I didn't have before. But I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? You want to do a quick van tour? The only thing is, it probably is still a little bit messier than I'd like it to be for as far as showing people it, but still, you know. Okay, well in here I have, this is my microwave, okay, pure sine wave and 4,000 watts, and then I have things for like holding these tools here, and this is an insulated wall, so this area doesn't have to get like as, you know, doesn't have to get like, you know, so basically kind of like you have like when the sun comes in, it's going to block some of that heat, and anyway, because this area is kind of like the outer level, doesn't need to be kept climate controlled so much. And oh, I do have a place here where I have to like, oh well, okay, it's like when I have my futon like in desk mode, like when it's up, then I have to actually have a little spot here for the leg to come through here for it to fit in there. But anyway, and then back here, okay, the main thing here is I need to fix my furnace. See, my furnace is, here's my furnace, my Suburban furnace. But what I have to fix is these exhaust pipes. What happened is these pipes pretty much originally they were made of steel, and so this is where I get the propane tank. Anyway, so it flows like, people are looking at here, so I'm going to change this. But oh, I do have a rice cooker that I can use like on the inverter, and then I have a little place for cooking with the thing there, propane there. Okay, it's just a little messy back there, but you can see that most of the stuff's intact. Yeah, the thing about the furnace is the original pipes I had on there, these steel ones, they rusted, so I'm replacing them with these aluminum ones, and I just haven't finished it yet. So that's the only thing. I mean, the furnace worked great, but it's just that I needed to make them out of something that didn't rust, you know, those pipes. But anyway, but yeah, so the exhaust pipes, because it's like a furnace, you know, it exhausts like the hot air, and you know, I mean, it basically keeps what it is. It keeps like the air where the combustion products happen, keeps that separate from the air, you know, inside your thing. So in a sense, yeah, you could say that maybe in a topological speaking, as a mathematician would think about it, it's like that it's still on the outside, even though we think about it being on the inside, you know, because anything inside those intake and exhaust pipes is still, it's only connected by the air to the outside. So okay, nothing too great about the front to think about. I do have okay, I had like this wall here, and I might do something with this and kind of okay, my curtain setup is kind of messy right now, but the idea is it would all be like black, you know, there. And anyway, okay, this is where I have my battery. I have battery back here, and then I have a big battery here, a couple big lead acid like deep cycle batteries. And then okay, so the main interesting, I think, thing I did with this van, and it's a hidden feature, you know, because I think that's kind of like my theme. It's kind of like hidden, kind of like a magician, kind of like you open some box, and it's like, looks like an ordinary box, and it's the gateway to another like domain or something, you know, something like that. I mean, some people, so I guess you say like keep my features hidden. I like to keep it obscured, you know, my features, you know, and then I'll choose like who I want to show what this van is to people, you know. That's why I'm not gonna do stuff like, you know, have people sign the outside of it or something, you know. That's if I can get enough friends who actually want to do that. No, just kidding. I wouldn't mind getting people to actually sign like the inside of it. That'd be nice. That like on the inside of my wall, like have some artists like draw on there and make like a mural. That'd be pretty cool. So maybe the same ones who Beth and some of the other ones who made the thing for my the rocks for my dog's memorial. But anyway, so the main thing here you notice is, okay, it's that cargo carrier, and there's something, I don't know if you can notice it, but there's something kind of special about it. And in fact, now there are these screws that hang down, which I need to cut out. That's one thing. Shouldn't be too hard to do. I just gotta make sure I have a long enough blade. That was something that maybe you can start to guess. Is there anything else weird you can see about that? Is there anything different you can see about that cargo carrier that doesn't look like a regular cargo carrier? I guess it depends, because you might be able to notice something. You wouldn't really be able to see it at night. Basically, okay, look underneath there, how that's like there. Now at night you really wouldn't be able to see that probably. And it's even hard to see in the daytime because it's kind of stuck in, hidden in the shadows, you know. And anyway, ooh, let me just go in here and show out for a little bit, huh? I'm going to try to do this without having to cut the video because I hate editing. Well, the problem is that even if you just make the smallest of changes to a video, then it's like, oh man, see, that's one thing that bothers me is you end up always having to, okay, I don't want to go off on YouTube's editing thing. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so back to this thing. All right, inside here you can see, okay, here's my bed. It's pretty clean. I got a few cotton balls and stuff out from here. Okay, anyway, but for the most part, it's pretty clean. I got you can see there's the microwave there, does stick through there. And that's a charging thing that I can use when I have it plugged into shore power. I'll use this charger to, like at my house, just to keep the batteries topped off better. So electrical stuff you can see along here. That's the vent actually actually, usually I keep that blocked off, and usually I have like another thing where I blow the hot. I found that actually if you have the hot air blow underneath this bed here, it kind of like gets kind of trapped there and kind of gets slowly released, and it kind of makes it more like stable, than just, having it blow into the air. Because that's one of the main problems with like that thing produces a lot of heat. I mean, but it's still in a vehicle like this, in a car. And I guess it's mostly because of, that you're still really close to the outside, so you can still lose radiant heat. And also like, there's a lot of surface area to volume ratio is really high, like in a vehicle. So anyway, what I'm saying is you can get it really hot, but it's still hard to get it consistent. It might be like if sometimes like when you're trying to heat up a small space, where it's like 80 degrees near the roof and then like, 40 near the bottom. It all depends. Now this, by having the heat blow underneath here, it does kind of allow it to mix slower, better, so it does kind of, I guess it's like that stratification of air is what the problem. So anyway, yeah, so inside of here, oh yeah, so what was I going to show you up there? That was, lost track of that. So what it is that cargo container looks kind of different, That's because there's a hidden thing here. That's right. I actually have a place I can sit here and be fully upright with my head sticking up through here because I cut like a hole through here. And you can see already there's like, I don't know how well you can see back there. Let's see. But there is like, like storage. Okay, I got this black light on in here. It kind of looks kind of cool. And this is where I have like the poop bucket stored, and that's where the pee bucket would be up there too. I just don't have it there right now, that jar. But anyway, basically it was just to make a few. Anyway, these are insulated walls here. They're very strong. I reinforced them with like these steel, with some pieces of steel and stuff. Anyway, but okay. But one of the main things you can see, you can actually make it to the outside. You can see if you can see it from here. Let me see. Okay, sorry. I have to come up here and see this. Oh shoot, I guess you can't really see it. Let's see, can you see it here? Let's see. I think you could probably see that. Okay, I don't know, but that's, okay, you could probably see there's like a fan up here, right? That's right, I've got 4 fans up here that are blowing down, and this is the switch that controls them. And so, okay, so this is like a hidden kind of a hidden high top, because I have one area where I can stick my head up. In fact, if I ever came up with a way where I could have this fold this way, I could actually have a place where I figured out I could stand completely up here. I'd at least have one spot, and that would make it, but even it's nice to have a place where I can just sit upright here, and kind of like, even like Indian leg style or whatever. And then if I did sometimes had to poop in here, then I could kind of sit on top of it and kind of have my head up. So in a way it helps a lot, but yeah, if I had a way of if I could actually have some kind of thing that could fold up like this way in the bed instead of folding sideways in the daytime, then that would make I actually would have a place I could stand. Just having one little place where you could stand could really make a big difference as far as making things, even stuff like changing clothes, going to the bathroom, whatever. I mean, you could maybe even theoretically have like a shower set up, just having one little place you could stand would make a big, I'm going to open this up for a little bit. So anyway, just to show you what the fan thing looks from the outside. And yeah, so basically I cut a hole through the roof here, and then I kind of reinforced it with a piece of PVC, and then it was still kind of leaking a little bit, and I kind of kept putting big gobs of that flex steel on it. So it seems now I don't notice that it's leaking, but I think just every once in a while I'm just gonna have to put a little extra stuff on there to keep that seal good. And this, how flimsy these things usually are, right? It's It's solid because it's what it is. I'll have to show it's got kind of like a layer. I got kind of like a skeleton of steel. What do you call it? Conduit that I bent into the shape, and then I filled like a section area like in there with like foam, and there's kind of like some boards. So it's like really strong, and it is insulated. I'm not saying it's going to be as insulated as if you had nothing out the top, but at least, you know, despite, okay, anyway, but I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of raining out here. But underneath here is like where the fans blow down. So these fans, they blow down to this area that's in this gap here. So it's like a hidden roof vent, you know. So at least till everybody else starts doing something like this, right? Then it's going to be, although you have to kind of like be comfortable with the idea of really having a vehicle that you don't care, just like that, okay, I'm never going to sell this to anybody else. I'm just going to make cut some major holes in it and stuff, you know, like you wouldn't want to. In fact, I'm not really even suggesting anybody else does something like that. I just think it was a cool idea. And the other thing it does too is, okay, your roof of your van is metal, and that kind of stops, you know, signals a lot, you know, a lot of radio signals. But up here I have like an antenna up there, you can see that, and a cord that runs down here to this TV I'm going to show you in a second. And because there's no metal in that part, you know, it gets a really good signal because it's, you know, it's up high. That probably helps too. But let's see. Okay, so I got my TV in here. Let's see. Okay.
Why pay over cable when it's half the TV? Get all the channels.
Oh, you know what I gotta do? Hold on. This black. Okay. One thing for some reason that black light. Okay, it's a little bit. Usually I got really good stations out here, and the thing folds out like this too. I mean, this thing might actually fold enough where you can like do it like from the outside. Yeah, you might even be able to. Let me see if I find a better channel though. Okay, hold on. Huh, oh, what am I moving? Oh, you know, I think there might be just a loose connection in there. I don't know. And there might be a loose connection. I may have to check that. Like, anyway, but I'm pretty sure, like, usually I get a really good signal with this. And this will make it kind of nice to, like, let's turn it off for now. I'm kind of like in a weird spot here. It might actually not be getting good reception in this little area because we're kind of like in a valley here. Even though we're, you know, in Duluth, we're not far from, like, you know, anything really, but anyway, actually, let's just open this up. This would actually be kind of a good day. If I actually was living in my van, this would actually be kind of a good day spot like here, wouldn't it? You know? Yeah, so, let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop this video now, and maybe I'll start uploading this one, and then I can maybe make another video where maybe I want to talk a little bit about, you know, what's going on in my life and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, the van, I've done a lot of stuff with the van, and I'm ready. Here's the remote controls for these lights and stuff. I've got lots of temperature control. Okay, here's like another vent. This was an original vent I had that blows in or out, but once I put that fan in, I'm not sure if this thing's even that useful, but I'll keep it there because you never know. And then, so anyway, okay, see, it's like a temperature gauge. I had like temperature. What I did is I need to get that system going again because a few of them got knocked down. Okay, well, if you want to know the truth, I had my buddy like over the Christmas. He was like actually kind of like living in here with his dog for a little while, you know. I mean, then he's been living with me, but for a while. But I mean, hopefully he moves out pretty soon. But we had him in here, but we had the space heater going. But yeah, he was in here, and then his dog kind of like, you know, wrecked a few things or whatever. Anyway, so there was a few things that I had to. Yeah, he was just living behind my house. Anyway, but and the problem is he didn't even like, you know, respect like, you know, my idea of like, you know, that, oh, this is really a cool thing, you know. Like if I was living in the van, I would probably at least be kind of proud of it with, you know, a few of my friends. But he's like, you know, didn't want to tell anybody about it. But anyway, so all right, that was a big digression. Okay, I'm just gonna stop now, and I'll but that was a basic van tour. So the van is pretty well put together. There's a few things I want to do to it, but yeah, it'd be, oh, you know, I got like up here, like stored up here is actually, I've had for a long time, I've had like basically like a week's worth of clothes are like stored up in this area here, and then and that'll also be, and then what I can do is and then I can shove it back in that same area. So basically I have all this bungee stuff, a system of bungees and stuff like that is my idea for like holding stuff. So maybe in a way it's kind of like the type of storage you might find on like a boat or something, right? An old sailing ship. So, all right, I'll just upload this one, and then I'll talk a little bit about my, some of my plans for the future. And if anyone just happened to get on this somehow, like I got to figure out how I'm going to title this thing to make it to where anybody will find it on, in search. But you can look at some of my old stuff and see, some of the trips I did go on and some of the things where I talked about some van build type stuff, All right, see ya.